This is Christian Staples with Arctic Spas. We've come up with these instructional videos to review what we went over with you as far as taking care of your hot tub and the operation of your hot tub when it was delivered. So if you have any questions, you can use these videos to go back and reference once again and review. I wanted to go over how you take care of your spa when you have an Onzen system. So the very first thing that you do when you start up your tub after doing a drain and refill is add the Onzen salt. So most tubs are going to take about 3/4 of a bucket. If you have a Summit XL, you're going to do a full bucket, or if you have the Arctic Fox, you're going to do a half a bucket. If you have one of the all-weather pools, you're actually going to add 4 buckets of salt to the water. After that, we want to test the water. This is what you'll do on a weekly basis. So you take your test strip out, dip it in the water for 1 second, and then pull it out and compare the colors against the bottle. Okay, with the test strips, we want to keep the top one, which is called free chlorine. This is measuring the sanitizer that's produced by the salt system. We want to keep it in the level between 1 and 3. And so if it's below 1, when you read it with your test strip, we'd actually, as it is right now, we'd actually want to turn up the Onzen system by a couple of hours, which I'll show you how to do in 1 second. If it's above 3, we'd actually want to turn down the Onzen system by a couple hours. So we want to keep it so it's always in that range between 1 and 3. The next most important one is the pH. So if we look at the color, the pH, we're right around the 7.5 mark right now, and we want to keep it at that between 7.2 and 7.5 range. We know that the pH is always going to drift up over time, and so by keeping it at the bottom end of that range, it gives us the ability to have a bigger buffer before it's too high. So at 7.5, we want to add a half a capful of the adjust down, and at 7.8, we'd want to add 1 capful. If you're using an all-weather pool, you'll want to just times that by 3. So at 7.5, add a cap and a half of the adjust down, and at 7.8, you'd want to add 3 capfuls. Those are the 2 main ones. If you can master keeping both of those in line, you'll have great water all the time. The other one that we want to be concerned about, but not overly worried about, is the alkalinity. And the only time I really want you to worry about this is if it's really low or if it's really high. Then we'll take a look at getting that back in line. But otherwise, if it's in the middle range, we're totally good with that. So additionally, on a monthly basis, we use the product called Scale Free. So on all hot tubs, you'd want to use 1 capful of the Scale Free and add it directly to the water. When you do an all-weather pool, you'll use 3 capfuls. I also give you a bottle of Boost. This is granular chlorine. This is for emergency use only. So typically what happens is if your water goes cloudy because all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of usage, or if there's some reason that the water balance isn't correct, or if the Onzen system isn't working, or whatever the reason that you have cloudy water, sometimes the fastest way to get the water back to clear is just to add a capful of the Boost to your tub. So if you have a whole bunch of people use it more than normal, you have a big Friday night party or something, just go ahead and add a capful after they get out if you want, just to be on the proactive stance. But we give this to you just to keep your water clean and clear if you have something like that happen. Every 3 months, we'll want to test the salt level. And if you ever have any problems with your water clarity or something, sometimes it's a good idea to test your salt level. So usually what I do is I just use the cap from the Scale Free. You're going to put about 1 inch of water into the cap. Take a test strip out. Now this takes about 3 to 4 minutes, and you want to set it in so it doesn't get the whole entire test strip wet, if I can get it to stay here. So it sticks out of the cap just like that. And once again, it's going to take about 3 to 4 minutes to react. And once it's done, this yellow line at the top, if you can see that, will actually turn black. So once it turns black, we know that it's done. So now we're done, and we can see what the level is. So what you do is you measure up here, and you can see that our salt is about 3.5. And then you look at the back of the bottle, and you come to 3.5, and it tells us that our salt level is 850, kind of between 850 and 930. So the salt level that we want on a regular hot tub like this would be 15 to 1800. So at this point, we would actually want to add more salt to your water. As far as our salt levels are concerned, we want to keep them between 15 and 1800. And we can go as high as 2400. So if you have a lot of usage or an all-weather pool, we can take that level up to 2400. Now the higher the salt content, the faster the reaction is, which creates that sanitizer. And so if you're having problems keeping your spa clean because of your usage, and you have that Onzen system running at a high rate, we can actually add a little bit more salt to it, speed up that reaction, and let the Onzen system run less hours per day. So to adjust your Onzen settings on a standard 1 to 3 pump spa that we offer, you'll use the settings button. It's the second one over on the bottom row. You press it once and it will say set, and then you want to scroll down until you see ON, so ON here, and then the number is the number of hours per day that the Onzen system is running. If our sanitizer is low, we'd want to turn that number up by 2 hours, and if it's high, if it's above 3, we'd actually want to turn it down by 2 hours. So you just use the up and down arrows to set it where you need it to be. Once you're done, you'd press the settings button again and scroll through the rest of the options until you get to the point where it reboots the system, and then it will start up the filtration cycle. So with an Epic 5-pump system, it's a little bit different. Same button, but you use the pump number 5 and you hold it down for 5 seconds. Once the word set comes up on the screen, you now have access to the settings, and you scroll down until you hit the one that says ON for Onzen, and then you just simply do the same thing. You turn it up or turn it down using the up and down arrows based on your sanitizer reading. Then once you're done, press the settings button or that pump number 5 again, scroll through the rest of the options until you hit where it reboots and starts the filtration cycle. I hope you've enjoyed these videos as a review on how to take care of your hot tub and how to operate it. If you have any more questions, please feel free to give us a call at 801-483-1001. Send us an email at support@arcticspasutah.com or go to our support webpage at arcticspasutah.com/support.